What's up, guys? So San Diego Comic-Con came out about a month back, and I only really talked about the Black Panther trailer, and I'm so curious because sometimes I think things will happen, and if I don't make videos about them or talk about them on the community tab, you guys might think that I don't know about them or I don't even care about them. I promise I keep up with stuff because I really love this stuff. Sometimes I just am busy and I can't make another video about certain things if a lot of things are happening in 1 week. I'll often comment about these things though on my Twitter and sometimes my Instagram. That's kind of why I ran the poll I did a couple days ago, but I realized there was so much I hadn't really spoken about. I mean, the slate they announced alone was insane, and I don't even think I mentioned that they're making a Kang Dynasty and a Secret Wars Avengers movie. Okay, so there's so much stuff that I will eventually get to covering in more detail and actually make videos about, and all the cool things that'll come from those movies. But what I wanted to talk about today is another very special event, the D23 Fan Expo. It's basically like the Comic-Con but for Disney. There will be a Marvel games panel, a comics panel, and of course a movies panel as well. And firstly, the only games from Marvel I'm trying to see is Marvel Spider-Man 2 and the new Wolverine game. Okay, I forgot to post on the community tab, but earlier this month, players, I was able to cop the legendary PlayStation 5 Cinco baby, and I only had to, sell my children, a few war crimes, commit some zoning violations, but your boy got it. So he's a bit bougie right now. I'm moving a little different, I'm a little bit higher class now, but really it just makes me more excited for these games that are coming out in the future. And I'm really not trying to see anything at all about Midnight Suns. Okay, if you're hyped for that game, that's totally fine, but me personally, I wouldn't take that kind of disrespect. It's basically like a glorified card game that's like expensive as shit, just not for me, I guess. But what I'm hoping for, what I'm really clenching my ass cheeks and crossing my fingers for right now, is hopefully an announcement of a sequel to the Guardians of the Galaxy game, which is amazing, by the way. I gotta recommend. I'm also looking forward to seeing if they announce any brand new game. I'm just saying, a new Hulk game would scientifically go harder than a bitch. I remember having this game and I couldn't get past the Hulkbuster level, but I would just absolutely torture the whole city. Like, I would body slam the fucking people on the buildings and the whole building would collapse. I would throw them into the water. I would punch the shit. It was so fun, okay? But regardless, I really hope that there's gonna be some new titles that will be announced in sequels and just more light shed on the games that I'm already looking forward to from Marvel. And getting back to the point of the video is, well, the movie category. So back from San Diego Comic-Con, when they announced the next two Avengers movies, they also had several new unannounced dates on that slate, 8 to be specific, ranging from fall of 2024 to the summer of 2025. Now, with the current trend of being 4 movies a year, with it seems about 5 Disney Plus shows, since 2024 has 3 movies set already and 2025 has 2, I think in all likelihood 3 of those 8 dates will be movies and the rest are probably going to be Disney Plus shows. Again, that could totally change depending on the output Marvel is going for in the upcoming years, which you never know what they could be planning. Maybe in a couple years they'll be doing 6 movies a year every 2 months, and then 4 movies a year won't be that crazy as it is now. We'll have to wait and see, of course, but for right now, let's work with what we got. So the 5 Disney Plus shows, the first I'm predicting / wanting is, of course, Ghost Rider. We seemingly will get a Johnny Blaze tease sometime in She-Hulk, and I think the MCU would do best to expand its more supernatural corner of the MCU. I think Ghost Rider is such a popular character people have been waiting for, so I don't see how you don't do that. Give us Johnny Blaze, bring back Gabriel Luna for Robbie Reyes. I think that would be fucking dope. Speaking of characters that are popular, you don't just give us a little tease of a man in a bar brawl fighting with metal claws for nothing, okay? Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige know we're basically detectives when it comes to watching these shows. That's not for nothing. We need a Wolverine show, and a Disney Plus show would do fine as long as it's a good one. Okay, I think a 10 episode show, hopefully around 45 minutes an episode, would be amazing. Again, have an X-Men movie without Wolverine so you can flesh out those characters and they don't have to depend on the coolness of Wolverine to carry those movies. And I want people to see the value in the X-Men team without Wolverine. I love Wolverine, but I think he should have his own thing for the time being, at least for the beginning. Explore his origin, maybe explore the Weapon X program, go a little bit more in depth in that. You can even sneak in some history between him and an early Savage Hulk. I think it's honestly the perfect medium for Wolverine, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed for that. Next, give us another hit of that Marvel Netflix shit, okay? So this one is for our heroes who never got a shot at a 3rd season. Let's go a Heroes for Hire show. Expand that street level with Power Man Luke Cage and Danny Rand's Iron Fist. I think that would go hard as fuck. I remember being a fan of the first Luke Cage Cage season. I haven't seen the full season 2 yet, and Iron Fist, well, you know, it was there. I didn't hate it at first, but it is what it is. At the very least, at least make Luke Cage season 3. I think that would go hard. Next, I think a great way as well to set up another very important character using a show format instead of introducing them in the first movie of a franchise will be the one and only Dr. Victor Von Doom. So we have heard that he'll make his first appearance in Wakanda Forever, but I think a show about Victor Von Doom, his early life to his time with Reed Richards to after the whole Fantastic Four incident would be amazing to flesh out his character and to set him up for future escapades, especially with Secret Wars coming up. I love Doom, but I really don't want him to be the main antagonist in the first Fantastic Four movie again. Like, I hope that he's mentioned, but maybe in a way where he's more focused on his home country of Latveria than anything. Like, if the whole Doom persona isn't fully fleshed out yet. But lastly, this is more so what I think will get announced and less of what I'd actually want. But I remember hearing that it would be a Disney Plus show instead, but I think World War Hulk will be that final Disney Plus title. I think if it was told from week to week correctly, and if they go with the storytelling approach that Eric Kripke, the man behind The Boys, has suggested, then it could be totally dope, leaving us hankering from week to week of what Hulk will do next. Hopefully they can do this with a Disney Plus budget. I mean, they can. It's Disney and they have the money for it, right? I mean, She-Hulk is looking really good, like the CGI side in my opinion, and I've heard Marvel Studios is starting to allocate the CGI load better, so it's looking good in all regards. Just have Hulk go absolutely insane. Please explore Bruce's trauma and you'll be fine. We just need more Hulk. Anyway, that leads us with 3 movie titles. Now, from the thumbnail, you can pretty much already guess what I'm gonna say, but to be honest, I'm not sure if they would announce Spider-Man 4 at D23 specifically, and this early, but No Way Home came out in 2021, but really late, so you could consider it a 2022 release, honestly, but I think it's fair to say Spider-Man 4 will come out either in 2024 or 2025, so he'll definitely show up in this slate or in Phase 6, and I guess my big hope here is because it is the 60th anniversary of Spider-Man, so maybe they would do something special, not just in the comics panel. Crossing my fingers we do get something, because I would love that. I miss Tom Holland. I miss him. So that gives us at least 3 titles to work off of, and the thing is as well, I did hear that Eternals 2 is in the works, but I don't think Eternals is a necessity or that anyone is really clamoring for a sequel anytime soon. So I'm going to make an executive cash money move and ignore them for right now. So I think that Shang-Chi was received amazingly. I personally loved it, and a sequel should be on the way. We know sequels can be a long time coming, sometimes 6 years coming, but I think because of how well it did and because of what the 10 Rings sets up being whatever they are, I think they would want to expand on that before big movies like Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty that might have the rings be a crucial part of the story. Next, guys, Deadpool has to come. Okay, I know it would seem crass to debut a rated R movie at a Disney Expo, but honestly I think that would lend to the irony of the whole situation of Deadpool joining the MCU, which is owned by Disney. I think it's long overdue as well. 2018 was the last time we saw him, well, if you don't count his time with Korg at least, and I think he'd be amazing for any spot they'd out him in. Next, this is a huge long shot, but seriously, I can't imagine, especially with all the hints of mutants we've been getting in the MCU so far, that the X-Men would not debut in 2025 and play a role in Secret Wars. Like, Marvel has had them at their disposal since the tail end of 2019. You're gonna tell me in Phase 6 you're not going to use them? What, you just finally have access to one of your most prized possessions and you're not going to use them for Secret Wars or have them involved in any way? That sounds like a whole ass missed opportunity to me, but hey, that's just me. Let me know your predictions for D23, guys, stuff you're expecting and stuff you want to see. Remember, guys, they will be live streaming it, and specifically on September 10th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I believe Eastern is 9 and Central Standard Time obviously is 8 a.m. That's when the Marvel Studios panel will begin, so mark your calendars for that. Get a babysitter, let the dogs out, cancel your colonoscopies, forget to wipe, so you can be all eyes on this panel. That is it. If you like the video, leave me a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you want, subscribe. I always appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope all y'all are well, and I'll see you in the next one.